Okay, now we're on Laws of Exponents Part 3. This is going to go back into the foldable that we started working on a few days ago. This goes on page 6, Quotient of Powers. And the way that you write a quotient of powers, it's going to be whatever your numerator is, that exponent, subtracting the subtracting the exponent in your denominator if they have the same base. So since we have a to the n over a to the m, we can say a to the n minus m. So let me explain why this works. So if we have 3 to the 8, we're going to have this. That's the same thing as 3 times 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 3 divided by 3 times 3, because we have 3 to the 8, so 8 3's on top, 3 squared on bottom, so we have 2 3's on the bottom. So what happens here is that we know that when we have a fraction, if we have the same thing on top that we have on bottom, they cancel each other out. So these 3's cancel, and these 3's cancel, so that all we have left is 6 3's on top. So this is the same thing as 3 to the 8 minus 2, or 3 to the 6th. So that's going to be the same thing when we have our variables. So if we have a to the 5th, a, b to the 9th, a whole lot of b's, and then on the bottom we're going to have a to the 4th, and then b to the 4th. So then when we cancel those out, we see those a's cancel, a's, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the b's cancel, so that all that we are left with is a, b to the 5th. And that easily could have been solved as a to the 5 minus 4, b to the 9 minus 4. And that would have given us the same thing. 5 minus 4 was 1, and 9 minus 4 was 5. So we are now on page 7 in our foldable, and it is powers of a quotient. When you have powers of a quotient, so meaning if you have something that is a fraction already, so something that's being divided by something else, and you try to take the power of it, it's going to be the same thing as distributing the power to each variable or each item inside the parentheses here. So in this case, a over b raised to the nth power is going to be the same thing as a to the nth over b to the nth. So as an example, we're going to have 2 to the 3rd over 4 squared to the 3rd power. So that means I'm going to take my 3 and I'm going to distribute it inside, and when we have the power of a power, in this case, like what we have in this case, it's going to be the same thing as 2 to the 3 times 3 over 4 to the 2 times 3, which is the same thing as 2 to the 9th over 4 to the 6th. Now that's going to simplify to something relatively simple. So I would like for you to figure out what that is. That is it for the laws of exponents. So now our foldable is done, and it can be attached to your notebook page, which we labeled a few days ago. We're going to have a quiz on Friday over the laws of exponents.